Here we are. Album Spotlight Land. TV Priest is the band. My Other People is the album. We're going to be covering it. We're going to go through track by track. I say that, but honestly, you're going to get the same kind of response from pretty much all the tracks from me.
And me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll do our best to go through it. Starts off the opener, One Easy Thing. Great opener to the album. Sets tone well. I think it's. I like the production on this. It's. I don't want to be comparing them because there are differences, but like the Idols comparison is the easiest one to make. Except it feels like there's more to it. And it's like what's the one with the Gotho on the Idols album?
1049 Gotho.
Yeah.
The album Brutalism.
Brutalism. Yeah. How that one still felt like rough around the edges and a bit rawer. I liked how this felt raw as well. Like it wasn't the best recordings of some things. It still sounded a bit live in the room. There was more atmosphere, and I get that from the Brutalism Idols album. But yeah, it came through in most of the tracks. But anyway, the opener I really like.
Yeah, I agree. Something that I kind of goes in hand with what you said there. The vocal delivery throughout this whole album, not just this opening track, just has me invested. I think I said this when we covered It Was Beautiful as a single. I'm buying what he's selling, if you know what I mean. He's convincing me.
Picking up what he's putting down.
Exactly, mate. And I'm having a great time doing so.
Yeah. I really like the song. I think it's a great opener. Especially with the kind of the build up at the beginning and when that guitar line comes in. Great. The guitar sounds on this album, the kind of lead guitar, phenomenal throughout this album.
Yeah.
Really good. There's some absolute standouts. Really like Fugazi sounding guitar lines and some of the other songs. Great. And yeah, vocals, picking up what he's putting down. I'm tasting it and I'm enjoying it and I'm having it for breakfast every day, saving a little bit. Freeze some, microwave it every day. That's what I'm all about.
I thought you said threesome, and I was like, where the fuck is
I
that
will.
from, then?
I'm up for it. Do you know what I mean? Just get in touch. But yeah, I think this is a great song, and I think it's like kind of like well packaged as in terms of structure, and the kind of the outro and the intro and stuff works really well. I don't quite know what I mean by that. It's a very
nice
simple idea, but you know what I mean.
What's the next song called, Liam?
It's Bury Me in Me Boots.
No, it's not.
What? Bury Me in My Shoes. Honestly, this song, I can't overstate how much I love this song. It is
certified top 10 song of the year based on the most prestigious ranking of them all.
Personal top, I'm not going to make the decision right now, definitely top 3.
Wow.
Just incredible. The vocals in this song, the lyrics, the chorus hook, that fucking guitar that comes in. Oh my gosh, golly. Drums sound great. I guess it's like a synth or something, or it might just be a guitar. They're like a twinkly part throughout. Just beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
All of that mirrored, and also I just want to say the bass as well.
Yeah,
I love the bass sound. I like how in most of this the bass sounds like it's slightly too loud, but it works so well. Like the mix of it is a bit. It's not spot on, but it works very well for the style. So
I think
it's
a mix.
You could say it was a great mix.
The thing, the thing I would say from listening in terms of like the mixes, the bass. This is gonna sound really stupid, but it's the perfect level of like bass as opposed to bass and treble kind of thing from a live bass guitar, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I feel like that's either sometimes over amplified and you lose the sound of the actual guitar, or it's not enough and it's very kind of you can hear the strings a bit more. This is like perfect. If that makes sense.
Perfect. This was a single, wasn't it?
Yep.
But there was one single that I wasn't really too fond of at the time. I think it was Limehouse Cut.
Yeah, I think it was.
But I also can't remember if I liked this at the time. And if I didn't, what a fucking bitch I am.
I don't.
Because
I feel like you weren't immediately hooked.
yeah,
If
I
I
feel
remember
like I
correctly.
That's
wasn't.
probably true.
And I am a bitch, and this is great. I genuinely mirror your thoughts.
Lovely.
I
I like
literally
how
have written down everything that you said, so that is great. Not word for word, but the gist.
beautiful. I like how they add like the nice kind of string sound to the end of this song. Between this and Limehouse Cut, I think it works
Yeah, the
really well.
transition's really nice.
That's like, I know that the single was a single version, and I think the only difference really is they've had that transition part at the end. And they also start the bass line to Limehouse Cut in like the
Yeah.
last 2 seconds or something. Because I was
Noticed
listening to it earlier, and I had another song lined up. Interestingly, it was that fucking Minion song, which we're not going to talk about. And it started to play Limehouse Cut, and then it kicked into that, and I was like, what the hell has just happened? But yeah, I think that's weird. I don't know why I did that. But
yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Whether, oh well, I don't know. It seems like it was not intentional because it seems too bizarre a choice to make.
I mean, it kind of, if you click straight onto Limehouse Cut, it kind of comes in at the right place, but it feels like not long enough until those kind of harmonic-y guitar parts start playing. But yeah, I don't know if it is.
If there's a right way of doing it, and that would be literally cut it just before it starts playing the bass line.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been done. However, Limehouse Cut, I really like it. That bass at the start that we've been talking about for far too long is great. And I've got I got hurt vibes from the chorus, like Johnny Cash.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it made sense in my head, but yeah,
I
I
suppose
like this
so.
one.
Yeah.
I liked brings down the pace a bit for a minute, bit of respite. Yeah.
Yeah, I really I agree. I like the kind of pace change. I think the vocals are particularly good, and vocals are great in all of it. I love the guitar line. It's like kind of goes down like that. Do you know what I mean? And then when it kicks into like the bridge where it becomes more kind of like, the vocals are great in that part. I don't know what I'm trying to say, and the strings and stuff come in into that part as well. I don't know, I'm just ripping here, but yeah, I think this is a great song. Personally,
I agree. Now I've heard it in context of the album, which is something that does happen very often for me. Could be a slight on me. Could be a slight on bands releasing the wrong songs as singles. However, this is wonderful, and I don't really have anything really individual to say. Same with the next one, but it's just wonderful, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, the next one is called "I Have Learnt Nothing." I will say that the mix on this is not good.
no.
There is a tone in the bass guitar that is ringing out constantly, pretty much, and it is awful. Which is a shame because the actual song I very much like. Now the tone itself, I don't know if it's audible on every medium, probably isn't. But out of my speakers, it was overwhelmingly loud compared to everything else, and it was like a sort of like a humming sort of tone that like constantly throughout, and it was like it wasn't something you could get over. I mean, I'm listening to it in my headphones, and I know what I'm looking for, so I can kind of make it out, and it isn't as constant. But yeah, I don't want to drag the song too much because I like the actual tune, but I just feel like it's been let down by that mix a bit, unfortunately.
I didn't notice that at all, to be honest. But like you say, it could just be volume, could be speakerage. I really like the chorus on this song, not so much the verses. And it reminds me a bit of Do Nothing, the band.
Yeah, I was going to say that before when Yanni mentioned Idols. This whole album's given me Do Nothing vibes.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of kind of bands you can kind of compare this album to, and I think it's because it sits very well in that post-punk bracket where a lot of the other ones are on the outside of. This kind of just plonks its arse right in the middle of it. I find it. But yeah, I've Learned Nothing. It's not one of the standouts on the album for me, but like I say, I like the chorus.
Very good.
Callum?
Yeah, no, I said before I don't really have anything individual to say. I did enjoy the track. But one thing I do have something to say on is the next track. It was beautiful.
It really was.
Fucking hell. This is insane. This is such a good song. And it gets better every single time, in my opinion. There's just something so I don't want to just keep repeating you. But it's just so raw and just like
Raw.
it's just so emotional and just yeah. It is leaving me with no words really, which is not great when you do a review.
It reminds me of Gang of Youths in the
Yeah.
raw emotional sense, more
I
so
can
than
get
the
that.
musical sense. But I get a similar kind of like
How you feel about
like
it.
someone's just like I haven't paid attention to any lyrics. If I'm being deadly honest with you, but I feel like someone's telling me a story that means a lot to them, kind of thing, and I can feel that, and that's exactly how I felt listening to Gang of Youths.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it.
I thought the bass, although not similar, well, kind of they reminded me a bit of Charmer. Don't know, that same kind of like driving momentum of the bass throughout.
Sure.
And yeah, just everything about it is beautiful. The bit where all the instruments drop out and it's just him singing, and then it comes back in. Great. It was indeed beautiful.
I also really like the drums at the beginning. The way it like starts dragging every other line, or I don't know what it's doing, but it sounds like it's slowing down or something. You guys have noticed that? I notice every time I listen to it, so I don't think I'm making it up. But like one bar is straight, and then the second one sounds a bit slower. But I really like that. Yeah. I think there's another song. There's something that's kind of similar. It feels like it's slowing down, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, the happiest place on earth. Is the acoustic E number. Again, nice change of pace. They put like the slower ones in the right places throughout the album, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You get a blasting of the heavier, faster paced ones, and then it'll bring you back down again. This one was nice. I really like the opening guitar chords. It goes in ways that you don't necessarily expect it to go. And the little sort of like fluty mellotron thing that comes in, like, is nice. I like the sounds of the things that are being played.
Yeah, I really like the isolated vocals in the outro on this one. Kind of wish that was a stylistic choice they delved into more, because it kind of ended a bit abruptly. I would have liked the outro to go on a bit longer, but yeah, again, I think this was needed at this point in the album, and it delivered well.
Couldn't agree more. Love the guitar sound. And I'm just listening now, obviously with earphones in, and noticed a harmony vocals in the very, very deepest part of the left ear. It's only in like a few lines, which I think is really cool. But yeah, the vocals are great in there. Nice change of pace, and I agree with that mellotron-y sound, whatever that is. Very nice. Mellotronic.
Yep, moving on to My Other People. Pace picks up a bit again here. I loved how weird the guitar is in this. Such a bizarre riff and then tone as well. It's so...
It sounds like an electric guitar that's not plugged in. That's what it sounds like to me.
And then like someone's just added like a distortion plugin after the fact, so you get every little artifact is just like crushed a bit.
Blown out,
yeah. And like it's just such a weird. Sorry, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Such a weird like riff itself. Like what is being played is just so strange. And then like the other guitar that complements it, very straight in comparison, just works perfectly in the tone of that. I think it's probably a fuzz pedal, but it just sounds so nice. And yeah, just another great song. Sorry, there's not much more to say.
Yeah, you're right. Is what I'll say. That and the bass again is very blown out, almost blown out sounding. There's
Yeah.
that kind of just like a strumming of like what sounds like muted strings as well that comes in. All the guitars and stuff on this sound really, really good, and they're just kind of on that edge of just like crackling almost.
Mm.
And again, great vocal performance on this, and the solo's great in this song as well. This is on a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
good.
I don't know if it was because at this point I was just listening to this album. I've listened to it before, but today I was just listening to it through my laptop, which isn't the best way to do it, I know. But there was a part where it seemed like the vocals purposely got lost in the mix, which I thought was a really nice stylistic choice for that part of the song, which stuck with me. I don't know if that was just my shit speakers. So if it isn't, then getting plaudits for shit technology there.
Well done. Moving on to the Breakers. Again, starts off acoustically, but there's a bit more going on with this one when everything starts kicking in. Again, like the tones of everything, the guitar sounds nice. And there's a synth part in your right ear that comes in just before the minute mark that is chef's kiss. Whatever that is, I love it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree. I think the song's wonderful. Again, all the tones are wonderful. I love the vocal melody in this. With the I've Got Friends part where he sings that, it's just great. And I just really like this one. I think this is the standout for me, other than kind of the singles. This is the best album track for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of checking out for individual notes now, but this one, yeah, I literally wrote down wonderful, really, and I think that describes it, doesn't it? To be honest, it just is. It's just a lovely song.
Next one is Unraveling. This is one that I actually wasn't that keen on compared to the rest, which I almost had a sort of instant love for. The bass does some weird slidey thing from my notes, is what I put on here. I'm going to have to quickly listen to as I'm talking. Yeah, it does do like a weird slidey thing, like kind of sound, which I didn't really like that much for the song anyway. I like certain elements, but altogether, this is probably my least favourite track.
Yeah, I think this was one of my least favourite on the first listen. There was, I can't remember now, I didn't make a note, but when I was listening to it earlier, there was a part of it that I kind of, my ears, piqued my ear holes. My ear holes got peaked. But yeah, in general, this is, I would say one of the weak ones. I really like the sound of this one. This sounds really kind of like industrial. The guitars and stuff sound really good. I just think the song itself doesn't really stand out.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that one, and I kind of think that for the next two. So I'll just say my 2 cents now.
Okay.
I just feel like because we're kind of getting into territory where they all sound quite similar, these songs are getting a bit lost for me. There's not a slight on the tracks themselves because it's not a particularly long album. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't. I don't know. I just kind of lost these 3 tracks really.
Okay.
I agree with it. It was a gift. I think I feel the same way as Unraveling, really. I don't have much more to say. So yeah, I kind of get what you mean by that.
Yeah, and same. Unraveling and It Was a Gift. There's the best part for me are those certain guitar riffs that come in that elevate it. But other than that, it's same as what you said. Then after that, we have I Am Safe Here. I like the rhythm of this one.
Yeah.
It was a bit more sort of like plod kind of walk. And the guitar riff again was one of those sort of weird sort of guitar riffs that I just imagine them fucking like just hitting the guitar and like this is just come out of it kind of thing, and I like that.
Yeah, mirrored thoughts. I don't really have much more to add on that one, to be honest. But yeah, I like the rhythm as well. I feel like it's got good drive to it.
Drive, baby. And then finally, we end the album with the song Sunland. Great closer. IMO. There's I don't know what it is. It could be an acoustic, could maybe a capo, but it sounds like it's too high for that. I don't know. Or some other instrument maybe that plays throughout this in the left-hand speaker or ear, which sounds very nice. I think the chorus in this is one of the best choruses on the album. Yeah. They are.
Yeah, I agree. This is a lovely ender, and I think it does do justice to the album, and it did pull me back in after kind of not checking out, but just feeling like it's kind of petering off. Is that the word? Petering off.
Teetering.
Petering.
Don't bring Peter
Teetering.
into this, mate.
Pete McEwen, bless him. Hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect end to the album. It works really well. Just a great closer on its own, and it kind of ties the album together really nicely. I think the guitar, that acoustic guitar and the bass together throughout the song's really good. I really like the chorus in this, like you said, Yanni. I think I'm basically saying your note here, but I agree with them. And I like the few kind of peaks that kind of happen throughout. It's a really good closer. And that's it. That's the album.
That is it.
That is it. Oh, what a fantastic journey that's been. We're now going to rate it. Colin?
I think it's an 8 for me, which I think is quite harsh because I have been very complimentary, especially on the early part of the album. But I think it's fair.
I think it's fair because I'm also going to give it an 8. I just think there's although going through it like this, I realised that I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I did. So it's a close 9, but it's an 8.
But it's not.
It ain't
close 9, but it's a solid 8. No shocks here. I'm also going to give it an 8. Infinity symbols all round for this album. There you go. Which makes Liam's job very easy. Tell me in one swoop, what's the mode, median, and mean?
8.
And then for the pathetic Range Boys, what have they got?
Big fat zilch. Nothing, baby.
What a
Go
keeper.
home. Go
Lol. So yeah, that's been the album spotlight. I hope you've had a chance to listen to this album. If you have not, shut up, Cal.
It's going to be edited out, so everyone just thinks you're abusing me now. I'm still going to edit it out because it was a bit phlegmy.
Oh. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. If you haven't listened to the album, go and listen to it. Share with us your thoughts, whether you agree with us, whether you disagree. Something like that.
Can you just interact with us, please?